So the first step you guys saw was the actual data itself, and you guys kind of was sharing out with each other of what you've seen as far as trends and strengths, and just basically just looking at the quantitative data. So now I'm going to show you how to take it a further step and actually start looking for the skill gaps in how you're going to utilize the formative assessments to make those informed instructional decisions moving forward. So let's take a look at it. You can zoom in on here. So now that we've graded, I got my academic feedback. So now I'm just going to take a look at what do I see as I make a deeper analysis of it. So I do see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they all got main idea correct, which is what we've been consistently seeing in third grade. We do take comes every week talking about they're good at main idea. This is good because they're probably gonna get there on a LEAP test. So we know we got that skill in the bag. Now, when it comes to the second question, it was, what is the purpose of paragraph 2? So already students in third grades are tapping into the author's purpose for writing a text, which it gets a little more rigorous as you bump up those grade levels. But right now, they're just having them actually go and look at a particular paragraph and just trying to make sense of what it was mainly talking about or why the author gave them that information. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 6 in my little group got it correct. All right, now let's look at the 2 that got it incorrect and see if we can find some common ground between these 2. All right, so I see that this student chose B. The correct answer is A, by the way, but chose B. And also the second student chose B. So I already see a commonality in the wrong answer. So at least we got, some type of trend in the wrong answer. It shows the danger that faces all window sills. That was the tricky answer. We see that all the time as well. We see it all the time as well. They usually choose the tricky answer instead of the correct answer. So let's talk about why they chose B and not A. So when you go back to the actual text, you'll notice that in the second paragraph, it talks about how the seal makes its way from under the ice, okay? And the students chose B because in fact, it poses as a danger to the window sills. So when they saw danger, they was like, okay, danger is something that still faces, let me choose B. However, if you look at the answer choice, it says it shows the danger that faces all window sills. Now, that's not necessarily true about all the seals. So this little word right here would have supported them when being able to differentiate between if this was the correct answer and if not. Not all, okay? So this is not stated in the text. They gave an example in the text, but they didn't say that this happens to all, okay? So that was kind of a little opinionated right here. So A says it shows the steps seals take to get from under the ice. Now, if I go back into paragraph 2, I can find evidence that supports that, okay? It says the seal takes several deep breaths. Then she opens her mouth and turns her head from side to side. With her teeth, she then scrapes off the bits of ice, and they need air to breathe. So that's the problem. Then it says, so window sills use their teeth to make sure their breathing holes stay open. So you can see that the author structured paragraph 2 into like, I guess like a steps. You see that they had some signal words like then and the seal takes several deep breaths. Like you can tell that it's kind of consistently going to the end goal. It's just trying to get the seal out of the ice. And the author kind of showed the several steps that it takes to get to that point. All right, so that's why it would have been a better answer selection, okay? But that goes back to the text structure. Sometimes you might have more skill than one. Yes, we're focusing on the purpose, but really it takes the organization of a text, students be able to understand how the author is organizing a text in order to make assumption of what the purpose might be of that particular paragraph. All right, now let's look at number 3. Now I will say none of them got number 3 correct. number 3, in my opinion, and that's why sometimes you shouldn't take your opinion as a teacher. Sometimes you gotta utilize the data. What does the data tell you to make so informed decisions? Because if I use what I thought was going to happen, I would have been totally wrong. I thought that 3 was going to be the one that they all got correct, because it's not only point 1, which is evidence and inferencing, which they were doing quite well with. The answer choices were in fact quite simple if they would have looked at what the question was asking. It says, which detail from the text shows that the mother seal protects her pup? Well, if you zoom in on the actual answer choices, A talks about when those seals use their teeth. They're talking about, if you go back to paragraph 2, the actual pup. The pup is about 3 feet long. B is talking about the pup. And C, there the pup learns to swim. However, look at D. The mother shows her pup how to catch fish, squid, and octopuses. So if I was a test taker, I would be like, okay, only D is the one that's actually focusing on the mother seal, right? So I would have thought they would have chose D, but they didn't. However, they did choose the tricky answer again. So these tricky answers keep getting us, out of pocket. So I'm definitely going to go back to looking at those details in a text. Not just that, but I want to look at those answer choice, those questions that actually focus on the answer selections being actual evidence that they pulled from the text to make an inference about something. All right, so moving forward, main idea is good. I could give them some practice with main idea, to keep it fresh. I do want to go back to purpose. I might want to pinpoint this in one of my small groups. Might get my teacher to kind of go back and review text structure so that they can make those adjustments to identifying the author's purpose. But for myself, I want to attack number 3 type questions, which is looking at details from the text to state those inferences, okay, to answer those questions. That's the ones I'm going to focus on, okay? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go find another text that has a similar question structure like this, okay? And then I'm going to walk students through the process, not only of looking at the answer choices and just making great educated guesses, but also I want them to see how when you actually look in the question, sometimes the question itself can be answered in your own words. And then once you already have that inference in your own words, now you're just going to align the evidence of text to go with what you should know that you read in the text, right? So if I looked at the question, the mother seal protects her pup, if I remember the text, I can remember the mother pup shows the seal pup how to survive. And one way that the mother pup showed the seal how to survive was to learn how to get its own resources like food, right? I knew that. So now I'm just kind of looking to see which one actually supports what I know that it mainly talked about when she tries to protect them. She protects them by showing them how to survive with or without her. All right.